I greet you all from the heart. Every rhetorical speak has in the beginning the greeting, and then what follows is seeking for the benevolence to obtain the goodwill of those who are listening. I will share a story with you, maybe a legend, something that hasn't been checked. Now, when I was coming here, some of them were asking me, "Are you nervous?" I said, "No." A little bit nervous. That is necessary, because to be nervous is a sign of respecting those who are listening. And if it wasn't for that, maybe I wouldn't have to speak today. Maybe Mother's Village wouldn't even exist. How come? Then I told them, listen, and then you will hear. According to something that has been checked, like a story that is more like a legend, the encouragement to build Mother's Village, late Father Slavko received that from a musician who was pianist, Mauro Harš, who lives also today. And according to that story, in 1986, it was here in MEĐUGORJE that he was healed, and he had some sort of an obstacle. He was nervous because every time before he would perform, he would be so nervous that this was blocking him. In Croatian, it is called like anxiety before performing. Anxiety before performing. Already in the following year, he established a foundation to help children, because he said when he was coming to MEĐUGORJE, he felt that he needs to make his faith concrete. So at the time of the war, in 1993, late Father Slavko, he rented a house on the way to Cross Mountain. It was a lady from Switzerland. He was putting refugees, those who did not know where to go to. They were seeking for accommodation. He entrusted the care to the nuns who were living here not far. They escaped from Bielopolje, from their native house. In 1994, Franciscans from Moster, they called later Father Slavko, and they asked him if they can bring 3 boys who lost their parents. Father Slavko gave them a positive answer, and so Franciscans brought these boys. And this was the beginning of Mother's Village. 2 months afterwards, 2 girls arrived. They came from Bosnia. They also didn't have parents. In the meantime, according to that story that hasn't been checked, the musician from Switzerland came and he asked Father Slavko, what is it that we can do for Mother's Village? It was the time of the war, and you know that at the time of the war, life is destroyed most, first fathers, then the whole families. And for Father Slavko, he became aware, so he would have a village, like a place where the war orphans would find their shelter, and they would have a possibility to grow and to be developed. So already in that year, they started with the building of the first houses. In 1995, the first four houses, there were children who came in. There were nuns. Nuns were taking care of them 24 hours a day. Late Father Slavko, He, as the Franciscan, he was the one who followed our Franciscan charisma, and there to care for those who are poor, who are weak, who are rejected, who are pushed aside. It is like a priority. It is priority of our charisma. This is the charisma that our Franciscans here have been nourishing for many 70 years. And he just related to that who are most in need of that help. Furthermore, the current situation, the war atmosphere, they made him to do this idea. What is very important to mention is that late Father Slavko was trying, not just for himself, but for the others. He was reading the message of MEĐUGORJE, the messages that the Blessed Virgin Mary was giving to the faithful. He, as the attentive listener of these messages, he concluded how the Blessed Virgin Mary wishes to come here above all, so she would express her love towards men. She would express unconditional love, and he, in that love, he was looking for mother's love. And he understood that that love needs to be the strength. It needs to be the beginning of the love that the other is accepted and the other is loved immensely. He understood that that love is the condition for life. He understood that that love is the condition for the battle against destruction, against death. If there's no motherly love, then the violence would occur, the spirit of destruction comes. So in a letter to his benefactors, he wrote that the idea, the guideline idea of the village that he initiated her spirit is the spirit of mercy. His love is motherly love that creates conditions for life. And she lives like a mother. She fights against death. She's working for those who would cooperate with her, who would work, who would serve in her spirit by creating for the others conditions that would be worthy of the human freedom. Late Father Slavko, from these messages, was able to read this thought that encouraged him to make a place where life, where they care for life from the conception to the natural death. That is why in that village, at the beginning, there was a house for girls, for mothers. You know that in the war, there is a weapon as of being raped. There were many women who were raped. They were able to come to mother's village. They were able to give birth to their child, to leave that child or to take that child along with them. Furthermore, imagined that there would be little houses for the children, for the orphans, who were able to accomplish their growth, their feeling of belonging, that they could feel that they have possibility to live there. Furthermore, late Father Slavko also had feeling for the children with special needs. There was a house where these children were accompanied, and we find out that one day he went to Split. He was looking at the association, so he would establish a house in Mother's Village. In 1999, it was a Merciful Father community. He said everyone should be given a possibility, a new chance. Everyone should be given a possibility to start new life, to convert. For Father Slavko, there was intention to make also like an old people's home. In that way, he wanted to circle the life from the natural death, and in that way to accomplish a mirror for all of the faithful, for all of the pilgrims. Today, Mother's Village is a project to protect human life in all of the associations. It is the association that raises preschool children and then cares also for the children without a family care. Late Father Slavko wanted these children from Mother's Village not to remain in some sort of ghetto, not to remain enslaved in some sort of their home, but that they can be integrated into the society, that they can socialize them with their... That is why he made the kindergarten where children can spend time and socialize with the children from MEĐUGORJE, from the surrounding areas. On one occasion to Mother's Village there was a pilgrim that came, and then she told me, I knew, and always in the encounters he was always strict. He had some kind of severe look, and he was always at the edge of being repelling. But when I saw Mother's Village, I got to know his other thing. I got to know the more gentle thing, more sensitive, the soul that he had for those who were in need, for the men in need. Late Father Slavko, besides reading Our Lady's messages, he understood very well the point of the Gospel. When we read the Gospels, we see that Jesus is a person that is always in the center. He is always the foundation to men. He is the concrete answer of God to his afflictions, to the feeling of being powerless, to his experience of being condemned. All of this we shall find in the person of Jesus. If we look better, how Jesus takes person from the edge and then heals its illnesses. While he does that, he restores and integrates him into the community. While he heals his body, he heals in his interior. He asks, what do you want me to do? What do you want as a person? Everyone wants to be noticed. Everyone wants to be noticed.
Da mu se neko okrene, prikloni i da ga zavoli. Svatko želi da ga Bog primijeti. Čovjek patnik za nas kršćane.
Those who suffer is the sacrament for us of God's presence. Love towards the neighbor becomes the sign, becomes the way of prayer. Late understood this.
On je poput blažene djevice Marije, koja je u
He is like a Virgin Mary who in the Galilee she wasn't there, she wasn't going around. She didn't say that they were preparing and she wasn't mourning, but she called her son, she invited those who were present. She did do what Jesus is commanding you to do. Just like this Italian woman was not able to understand Father Slavko until she saw Mother's Village. Same as with MEĐUGORJE phenomenon, you cannot understand it unless you see it. That the message of Father Slavko. Therefore, late Archbishop Poser, after visiting Mother's Village, he said these words: every pilgrim who comes to MEĐUGORJE should visit the church and the area around the church. But he should come to Mother's Village too, because Mother's Village is the second part of the same medal. Dear brothers and sisters, it is hard for me to speak about the village. Maybe I'm the oldest orphan of Mother's Village. My mom lived for more than 20 years in Mother's Village, but at the same time I'm the head. Where do you separate professional and the personal? I don't know. I love Mother's Village, but I do not want to idolize it. I don't say that everything is ideal in Mother's Village, that everything is according to the order, but we are trying to follow this intention when Father Slavko established it. Today we will hear the testimony of the former member of Mother's Village who is professor today. Last year he became a doctor. I will not say that Mother's Village is a company of professors. We have somebody who is even in prison, who was member of the Mother's Village. It wasn't good for him in his life. Today he's in prison. But what I want to share is that Mother's Village did not give up even from him. He, when he has the feelings, he wasn't hesitating of contacting us for help. Therefore, I say that this phenomenon here in MEĐUGORJE can be understood only if we understand this concrete help of many need, this concrete form of love and of faith that is reflected here in a special way here in MEĐUGORJE. Now I give floor to Marijan. He will explain that as a professor. Praise be Jesus and Mary, dear youth and all those who feel like that, what to say after Father Dragan and his words of the description of Mother's Village, aware of time and the heat. I will be brief. It is very important, love. And love is something that Father Slavko was trying to carve in everyone who was working with children 24 hours a day. My story of life started in 1994 when I was born. 2002 we lived my family lived in a village in Bosnia. My father killed himself in 2000, and my mom was not able to fight with the situation that she happened to be with. Unfortunately, my brother and sister ended in mother's village. In that same year, in 2000, I was supposed to come here. You know how it is when children are taken from mother. You took the most important function of a mother. My mom was not able to endure that. She wanted at least one child to remain with her. So I remained with her for a year. It started in 2001 when I came to mother's village. I remember it was summertime. It was June 2005, and what I remember is how I sat in the car, in the back car. My mom stayed at home. I left with my car and I waved to my mom. This is the last thing that our contact with mom did not stop. She died with a natural death. What is the message of this whole story? It is the following situation. And in Bosnia and Herzegovina, there were not many homes. In Bosnia and Herzegovina is one, but there are many kilometers in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We, brother, sister, and I, with not accidents, because nothing is accident in our life, we ended up in mother's village, 250 kilometers away from our home. And look at the miracle. Mother's village, it has the role of a mother. What is additional, Father Slavko, is, I could say, was a father to their children who spent their lives. But what is miracle is MEĐUGORJE, the place where a lady appeared. We were given a possibility, regardless of the troubles that the life put before us, that we lose our biological parents. We lost our father and mother, but we received Heavenly Mother Mary through MEĐUGORJE. And we received Heavenly Father, Father Slavko Marić. Our life journey afterwards and growing up in mother's village was not bad. The perception, the atmosphere of those who were in MEĐUGORJE was not bad. They accepted us just the way we were. We could never feel the difference between the children who were growing up in MEĐUGORJE and the children who were growing up in mother's village. That was even cool of Father Slavko, to integrate children who didn't have parents to be in the community, to be in the local community where we live in MEĐUGORJE. And so the life journey, of course, I graduated, I completed the high school, elementary school. My brother and sister were with me all the time. Two of them were born in a more specific way. Two of them have intellectual difficulties, so the perception of their environment and of their life was a little bit different, but also the way I look at them is completely different. So 4 years ago, unfortunately, our brother was killed. He died. And so in one moment, I asked myself that I was angry at God. And, I didn't speak with him. I didn't go to the church because I know that such life, he doesn't deserve that. I realized that everything happens with a reason in our life. when today with my sister, she's somewhere here, I live my life in the best way. What is the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to leave a trace on earth. They say that the power of the waterfalls is in little drops that hold on together, that stick together. Trust me, it is really like that. One Marijan, one Martina, one Josip, Dario, Vidan, all of us, we are just drops of a waterfall called Mother's Village. Where would I be today without this village? Trust me, I don't know. But my life story would not be happening in this way. Today, as Father Dragan said, I'm at the turning point of my life. Maybe it sounds bad. I wouldn't want that somebody interprets me in the wrong ways. God takes something but blesses something else in many different ways. Trust me, my life is not different at all from your life, because God gives cross to everyone, the cross that they can endure. My cross is this, and it is the same like yours. But what is the point of this cross? We need to decide that we want to carry that cross. This is the point of this earthly life. What is earthly life comparing to the life that we would live afterwards? Nothing. Therefore, let us take our cross. Let us truly be the best signs of our God, of Our Lady. Let us be witnesses of everything that we lived every single day in our lives, because nothing, absolutely nothing, happens by accidents. Thank you so much.